style. Vegan style. 8 years ago, I decided to go vegan. No more milk and eggs, fish and cow and even chicken. Everyone thought that it was just a diet phase. Even my Jewish mama asked if I was going crazy. Every day since then, I'm being asked what's a vegan. People talking today have a degree in nutrition. They say you know it's not healthy, that's the reason you're so skinny. I said check the FDA and wanna read the China study. What about plants? Don't they have feelings when you cut them? Cut a salad. What about plants? Don't they have feelings? No, they don't. No, no, they don't. No, plants don't have feelings. You really This is vegan style. Vegan style. This is vegan style. Vegan style. This is vegan style.
Hey,
Vegan
yeah.
This is vegan style. Intelligence don't matter, just the fact that they can suffer. Just for the sake of taste, you're sending animals to slaughter. You don't have to love them in order to not kill them. Just like you don't kill people even though you love to shoot them. No, it's not a trend, and we don't have a guru. And baby, yeah, we have lots of other things to do. Carry your oxygen, best speech you've ever heard. About time to realize your vision has been blurred. What about plants? Don't they have feelings when you cut them? Cut a salad. What about plants? Don't they have feelings? No, they don't. No,
No, they don't.
no.
No,
Plants don't have feelings, you
idiot.
This is vegan style. Vegan style. This is vegan style. Vegan style.
There we go. That's enough of that. Boy, that's a long song. And I came here today to talk to you about my vegan diet that I used to be on. I'm no longer practicing, but I miss it terribly. I love the foods that I got to eat on this diet. And what inspired me to do this video was James David Christman. Want to give a huge shout out to him because I was listening to his religious videos on his YouTube channel that you can find on J. David Christman. And he was talking about the Christians back in the first century where they would slaughter animals, to the gods, and Christians would go over there. They would be invited, and they were able to eat very cheaply. Sometimes it may have even been free to eat this meat that had been sacrificed to other gods. And the older Christians, they didn't have a problem with it. They said, well, these other gods, they don't exist anyway. We serve the one true God, and it doesn't matter if this food was sacrificed to them or not, because they don't exist. But the younger Christians were very confused by it. It hindered their new walk because they saw it as that these Christians were doing wrong by eating this meat that had been sacrificed to other gods. And he goes into great detail on it on his website. And I encourage you to, listen to what he has to say each week. He is very good. But when I gave up meat, the book that taught me everything I needed to know about being vegan was The Starch Solution by Dr. McDougall. And I encourage you to get that book to help you come up with good recipes. And you don't need a huge amount of recipes in order to have a successful diet. You just need 6 or 7 meals that you just absolutely love. And once you get on a routine of cycling those 6 or 7 meals over and over, you will really enjoy it because you'll be eating what you love each and every day. And you'll feel better too. There's 5 big starches that you need to remember, and every single meal has to revolve around these 5 starches. 1 is potatoes, 2 is beans, the other one is rice, the other one is corn, and the last one is pasta. And those are your 5 starches that should make the base of each and every meal. And one of the things I wanted to say is don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't do. If you want to be vegan 364 days out of the year and you want to eat turkey on Thanksgiving, then there's nothing wrong with that. Eating turkey one day out of the year isn't going to make one bit of difference in your health and your diet. And even Dr. McDougall will tell you that. And used to, people only had a big meal once a week. Each Sunday they'd come home from church and maybe they'd invite their pastor over and they'd have these big Sunday dinners. It wasn't like today when you have to eat a huge meal each and every meal. And let me tell you something. When I first started this, I was eating myself to death. And I'm probably right back doing it again. But I thought I had to have meat every single meal. I thought I had to wake up and have sausage and bacon for breakfast, have a big pork chop or for my lunch, and then have a big steak for my dinner. And I was eating gobs and gobs of meat 3 times a day, and it was killing me. And you don't need to eat that much meat. Like when you get rice at a Chinese restaurant, it's got a little bit of chicken or pork in it. It's a very small amount compared to the amount of rice you're getting, and that's how you're supposed to eat meat. You're not supposed to have a great big huge 20-ounce steak covering your whole plate. That's just too much. But it's good, and I can't say I haven't done it. I've done it, and I've enjoyed it. But if you would start having a couple of vegan meals each and every week, you would enjoy it because it tastes very yummy. One of the things I really loved was potato soup Michelle would make a big pot of potato soup, and it would be so good. And I wasn't a hardcore vegan because I would make a pound of cornbread, and I'd use real eggs, and I'd take Crisco, which basically animal fat, and grease my pan and make my cornbread. And some vegans that are hardcore, they would frown on that, but I don't care because I'm not going to let someone else tell me how to do it. I do it my own way. And I think that using that animal fat in your pan to grease it to make your cornbread, that's the amount of fat you're supposed to be getting from animals, not a big 20-ounce steak. So that's what I did, and I enjoyed it. I love that cornbread and that potato soup. That's so yummy. And you could have spaghetti and meatless, tomato sauce over your spaghetti, and we'd always get us some garlic bread, and that was one of our meals, and beans and rice. Love the taste of that. And this book, if you get it, it's got all kinds of recipes in the back to help you along the way. And it's just the taste of that I love, and it's so nostalgic. You know, back in the day, in my grandparents' generation, they didn't eat meat all the time. They always had soup beans, which and then they would have fried potatoes, and they'd have cornbread, and if they were lucky, they had some little piece of meat to go on the side, but it wasn't the bulk of what they ate. That wasn't where they were getting the majority of their calories from. They were getting it from the beans and the potatoes. And they lived a lot longer and were a lot healthier back then. And I know that I would feel a lot better if I ate less meat. Meat has got a lot of fat in it. And, the fat you eat is the fat that you wear. And that quote is from Dr. McDougall, so I want to give him credit for me saying that, because that's not my saying. But I'll repeat it again. The fat you eat is the fat you wear. So we need to get rid of all that fat that we've been eating all the time. And there's a lot of mean things that are said to you when you decide to go vegan. And it's not that these people are normally mean people. It's just they have their own beliefs about eating meat that are simply not true. And they want to voice their opinion. And I have a really good friend and I still love and respect this person, but they came up to me when I was practicing, and they said, if God had intended you to eat nothing but vegetables, you'd have 4 stomachs like a cow. And that was very offensive, but I didn't even argue with him. But in response to that kind of statement, our ancestors developed fire. And I can guarantee you that those old campfires that were made by our prehistoric ancestors, that the majority of those campfires were used to break down really hard tuberous fibers of plants. Uh, we learned how to break down potatoes because you can't eat a raw potato. You just it's needs to be broken down and made soft so that you can eat it and enjoy it. And so a lot of plants went into ceramic or pots or pottery and these old campfires, and these plants were broken down and consumed by our ancestors. And I'd say very few campfires ever saw any meat on them. And when they uh, did eat meat, it was a special occasion, like giving an offering unto the gods, or when they went on a special hunting trip. And a lot of times, the most prestigious members of the community were the ones that got that meat, not everyday folks like you and me. It was a rare commodity back then, and there's just a lot less meat consumed. And I can't tell you how much I enjoyed being vegan. I'd still be vegan to this day. But what happened was that Michelle and I decided that we were going to have a traditional Thanksgiving, and we were going to have a turkey and all the sides. And after we did that, Michelle, she said, "I like meat," and she decided that we were going to go back to eating meat, and I just went along with her, whatever she wants to do, because I'm a big pushover, and I love Michelle, and I do whatever she wants to do the majority of the time, and I've got her really spoiled by doing that. But I love her, and I wouldn't have her any other way. But I love the food that we used to eat. And there was a lot of French fries and potatoes. And where we went wrong was when we started eating them veggie burgers and stuff like that, that is plant-based meat. You need to stay away from that stuff if you're going to do this. Don't even try it, because when we first was pure vegan, I was losing weight and enjoying it and feeling better about myself. And as soon as we started adding in that plant-based meat, them veggie burgers, the weight loss just stopped. And those things, they are worse for you than eating the actual meat. And if you need to eat a hamburger that bad, don't get the veggie burgers. Just go somewhere and get you a real hamburger, because it'll probably be better for you than eating that plant-based garbage. You don't know what they're putting into that stuff to make it taste good. And I'm not saying it's necessarily bad for you, but the same stuff they put in dog food to make the dog food taste like meat, that's the same stuff that they put in them veggie burgers. And that's what you're eating. Just to let you know and give you a heads up. Shoot. I wanted to continue on. I had to pause it because my mind just went blank. But I want to continue on by talking to you about how bad milk is for you. Uh, in order to meet the milk production, these dairy farmers have to keep their cows pregnant year round. As soon as they deliver, they impregnate them as soon as they give birth. And all the hormones that go through these cows ends right in that gallon of milk. And a lot of men develop breasts because of these hormones that's in their milk. If they drink a lot of milk, you need to stay away from milk. I'm telling you, especially if you're wanting to lose weight, because a baby calf, when it's born, it does nothing but drink milk for the first couple of months, and in those couple of months, that cow will gain over 100 pounds. And just imagine what that's doing to you when you're drinking a big glass of milk. It's not good. You're going to gain weight. Not only that, but milk is acidic. It contains lactic acid. And your body has to neutralize that acid after you drink it. And how it does this is it removes nutrients from your bones to neutralize that lactic acid. And back in the 80s, the milk industry did a study on people that had bone disease. I believe it's osteoporosis. I don't know what it's called. But anyway, they did a study and gave them a glass of milk a day to see if their bones would be better at the end of a month. And the milk made the bones worse. And I can guarantee you the milk industry will never fund that study ever again. Because they did not get the results that they wanted. The milk made the bones more brittle because your body has to pull out nutrients from your bones to neutralize that lactic acid in the milk. And so there's so much conspiracy going on with the meat and dairy industry that you just would not believe. Kids have been misinformed for years about what they're supposed to eat, and we've all bought it because and I'll tell you something else I've seen on Facebook, and it is totally, completely true. It said, what if I told you that the reason you like meat is because it's seasoned with plants? And that is so true. I mean, you take a piece of meat and you don't put any salt or pepper or any seasoning on it, and it's really bland. And why not just cut out the middleman and eat the plants to begin with? You know what I'm saying? I know my mom, she was so crazy when it came to dieting, because she would take her pieces of chicken that she was going to eat, and she would boil it and boil it and boil it and take it out and put it on her plate with no seasoning or no nothing on it. And she thought that if it tasted terrible, that she could lose weight better. That is crazy. That is nuts. You can't stay on a diet like that. You got to get you some really good meals that you love and enjoy, and recycle those over and over. that's you not only enjoy but is good for you, and you can do that. And I, she'd always fix our pieces and shake and bake, you know, or whatever, and that tasted good, and it wasn't any worse than what she was eating, not by much, not enough to make a difference. But if anyway, if you want to try to go meatless, buy this book. It's real worth the money. I think you can get it on Amazon. It's not too high. I think it's around $10, and it is really, really good. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you can start eating better if you're not already eating good. And I hope I can get back on it. I'd love to have a big bowl of potato soup right now. A lot of them are really hearty soups that are just so yummy. And, well, I'm going to get off here. Bye.